Game week, I mean, the excitement level now, does it intensify a little bit, practice and the feel of it as you go through this week?
Yes, but I feel like we've had that intensity since the season was over last year through workouts and through training camp. I just feel like the guys are excited. You can just sense the energy and that we want to go out here and play for a win. And just we're all excited about the season because we realize the opportunity that we have.
What do you remember from Pitt in '09?
Pitt in '09, I got my first college carry, one carry for 2 yards. But I played a lot of special teams. I remember playing a lot of special teams. I more so remember like those older guys than like Donald Jones and those guys. Just wanting to show that they can play against the best competition out there. And so I kind of take that into my senior season, just wanting to prove that YSU we can play against anybody any opponent that we have in any competition that is out there. So that's the mindset that we're going out here with.
You haven't scored a touchdown against them. I know last year a lot was made about scoring your first touchdown against an FBS team, but against Pitt, only 3 points in 2 meetings. Is that something you guys talk about, or what's your thoughts on that?
It's not something that we have addressed, but I feel like we're a new team, we're a new offense, and I feel like we're going to go out there and score touchdowns. Our offense and defense are going to do the best they can to go out here and win this game.
Could you talk about the progression? I mean, going from not being really competitive against Pitt to being competitive for about a half against Penn State and then 3/4 maybe against Michigan State.
I just think that is all left up to Coach Wilford and his coaching staff. I feel like that's something that they have done a great job with us. Just teaching us how to compete and giving us that will and driving, as it's showed over time. The longer Coach Wilford has been here, the more of a game we played. And I just think that goes into last year. Playing a half. I think that went into like a lot of our depth and stuff like that. And I feel like we'll be able to go out and compete for 4 quarters because that's something that we addressed a lot this offseason, is just finishing a game and finishing everything that we do, because that's something that we have struggled with, finishing the 4th quarter of a game. And so that's something that we have really emphasized on, with 4th quarter situations, 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, just closing games. And so that's what we want to be able to do this year, is just be able to close out games.
Jamaine, these types of games against these FBS schools, are they good openers, or would you rather play it? I know, hypothetically, would you rather play it later in the season, or it's always the first game? And
hypothetically, it's a big game. I think we go into it just like any other game, even though it is a big game. I think our mindset here that Coach Wilford has instilled in us is, no matter who we play against, we can compete, and we are our own worst enemy. So we are the only people that can hurt ourselves. Our team is, we control our own destiny. That's how we feel, and because we're confident against any opponent that we have.
So much experience on the offensive side. How can that benefit you, on this stage as you move into the opener Saturday?
I think it benefits us greatly. We have a great experience. Kurt going into his 3rd year starting. I'm going into my 3rd year starting. So I feel like we have a lot of leaders out there on the field to get those young guys going, and and I feel like it starts with us and up front with our offensive line and stuff like that. And I feel like offensively, we can get the job done. It just has to start with us, and we have to have great leadership offensively and defensively. And I feel like we're going to go out there and just compete.
is it tough to get a barometer on Pitt because they've changed coaching staff? You have no film on them from this year, so is it tough to get a read on what they do or don't like to do?
Yes, it is, because, like you said, we don't have any film on them. But, our coaches have known where those guys have coached at before, so they have film of, Wisconsin and where those coaches were before. So, we don't have any film on them. But like I said, it doesn't matter who we play against. We're confident that with our game plans and strategies that we can go out there and compete against anybody.
Jimmy, what's the biggest difference from the team today than the team walking off the field against Missouri State last year?
I think we have a lot more confidence, and I think we're going to go into the season playing with a chip on our shoulder just because of the way our season ended last year. And, I think that gave us all a sour feeling, especially the older guys, because, I've been here for 4 years, and I don't have a ring on my finger, and that's, it's this young Sun State tradition to have a ring, and I just feel like Trussell that up in the standards, national championships and conference championships, and that's what we want. And I think we're going into this season playing with a chip on our shoulder, because that's what we want. That's our goals, to go out there and compete for a national championship and have a ring at the end of the season.
Jamaine, this is it for you. It's your senior year. Do you feel a sense of urgency now, where you're almost out of time, where you think, I almost did this last year, we almost did that? Do you feel like now you have to do it?
Yes, I do. I do feel like that in a way, but at the end, but also I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I just want to go out there and do what I've always done, which is make plays, because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself or my teammates to go out there and just blow everything. I just feel like we just have to go out there and just do what we've done last year, just make plays and just most importantly, just finish games, because we struggled with that last year. We watched a lot of fourth quarter subs off season and just finishing games. So that's more so for me, is just being able to finish a game and not just coming out there and having a first half. I want to come out there and have a great game, not just a particular part of the game. So for me, it's just more so finishing.
You've been going against a reshaped defense all summer so far. Tell us from an offensive standpoint what you feel that defense is like, how it will be a better challenge, a tougher challenge for your opponents.
I feel like Coach Tracy has done a great job on that side of the ball with those guys. As we saw in training camp, that first scrimmage when we came out, they whooped on the offense, and I was shocked. I even went in the locker room telling those guys, I was very shocked, because ever since I've been here, the offense has just terrorized the defense, and so I feel like they have showed that they can compete with us. And last year we were one of the best offensive in the nation, so that only speaks great things of them. And so I think that it's a great change, and I think that our defense will be able to compete with anyone in the nation just along with our offense.
How about playing against Ray Graham? He's a guy who gets a lot of attention. Does that affect you? Do you feel like, hey? I know you're not going up against him, obviously on the other side of the ball, but.
Kind of, not necessarily, but I think you always notice a team's great players, and so myself, I kind of try and just, if I'm thinking from an individual aspect, I try and I want to be great just like the rest of those guys, and I push my teammates to want to be great. So from an aspect, yes and no. I kind of notice it, but not really. Like I said, I just have to go out there and do the best I can to help Youngstown take a victory.